Okay, so I've told you about my charity ride, and now I want to introduce you to the two loves of my life, okay? So this is Moss, and this is Toots. Babe?
Now I know what you're thinking, what the bleep are you riding, Mark? Well, let me tell you, this thing is a 125 Yamaha TriCity. It was my first bike and I love it. She gets some dodgy looks because of her two front tyres, but look how nimble she is. So you may notice the slight weather change between shots, and that's because rumours began circulating that another lockdown was coming in, so I wanted to get this video out as quick as possible. It's a bit rough around the edges for that reason. So there are some days on this which is very icy and cold, and I'm taking the corners like a granny on a mobility scooter, and other days when it's nice, bright and sunny, I can really throw it into the corners. And this is what I love about this bike, okay? It is nimble and it is light, but also it's got some good bit of grunt here. I mean, most roads are 40 anyway, you don't want to go faster than 40. So having that little bit of power on the throttle is great, and look how it handles through the corners. The two front wheels do give it a bit more grip. If one wheel loses touch, the other one normally can pick you up. So I feel a bit braver on this, and again throwing it through the corners. Here we go, right into the corner now. Hard on the brakes. A bit round and a bit of spin on the back tyre. Yeah, get a knee down here, it's right on a 125. And again, tight into this. Oh, throw it in, throw it in. Also, I should point out at this place that I do have a mic, but it stopped working. Now, ordinarily, I'd just reshoot it, but with COVID on the rise and us all being locked down again, well, you're getting a botch job. Just deal with it. But my two favourite things about this bike is it's light, it's got a lot of power for what it is in a 125, and you can throw this around corners like fake news on Twitter. It is just a whole load of fun to ride. So yeah, it may look a little bit strange, and you may find that proper bikers on proper bikes don't give you the nod or any level of respect. In fact, I'll probably flip the bird and laugh at you, but I don't care. I love this little girl, and you know what, I reckon this is going to be a classic in the future, a bit like a Reliant Robin in reverse. So I won't entertain any bad things about this. She's my first bike. She got me on the road, helped me discover what freedom feels like, and for that, being always grateful. This is what it's about. This thing you can throw around like the last thing I want to tell you, as you can see here by my wiggling of the bike, is it doesn't lock. This is the same as a bike, you've got to put your feet down. There are later versions that you can flip a switch and lock it so that you can keep the bike upright when you come to a stop, but I don't see the point of that. Truthfully, this doesn't feel that much different to a normal bike. You've still got to throw your body weight around, you've still got to do all the hard work yourself, but there's something about this bike that just gives it that little bit more protection. So I think it's a perfect beginner's bike, or a bike to learn on, really. The Moss is a whole different beast, okay? This is a Yamaha XVS950 Bolt, completely different to Toots in every single way. I've been riding this bike for a year, so I'm still a bit unconfident with my cornering, and you can see on the days where it's a bit icy and a bit wet that I'm really, really nervous going through some of these corners. But on a dry day, hell yeah, let's get this thing whipped into the corners and really enjoy that acceleration. I think this is the most exhilarating part of this bike, is that acceleration. Growing up as a fan of V8 engines and motorbikes and dragsters and banger racers, the thing that really thrilled me was the noise. And sadly, when I bought this bike, it had a stock exhaust on it that sounded a little bit like a curious kitten. So the first thing I did was get a Vance & Hines twin/slash exhaust on this bike, and it sounds like a roaring, angry lion. It is a symphony. My motivation for recording this video is because I want to ensure that everybody knows they are welcome on this ride. Now for me, I don't care what you ride, I really don't. I will wave and nod at anybody. For me, if you make the decision to ride, then you've got that same essence inside of you that deserves respect. It doesn't matter what you ride, whether it's a scooter, a motorbike or a blooming lawnmower. So long as you are road legal, then please, please get involved. Absolutely everybody is welcome. So please, please come along and support both myself and Vicky with the ride, and also to support two amazing charities, the Alzheimer Society and Mind. All we ask for is a small donation to join the ride, and if you're also willing and you can't ride, please donate as well. It's all about raising money for these charities. The campaign page is live and is in the links in the box below.
So I was really hoping that I could do a proper road test, but these new COVID restrictions have come in, and riding a motorbike for a YouTube channel doesn't count as essential travel. And it's really important that we're all very sensible and do our best to stop COVID spreading. I know I'm joining the Preach Brigade here, but stay at home if you can, all right? All I was going to tell you about really, or explore, was the power in these two bikes. But I can tell you that Toots will do 60 eventually. And maybe if you've had beans on toast for lunch, it might even hit 70. But she needs a lot of encouragement to do that. Whereas Moss, well, you'll kind of hit 60 before you know what's happened. And like a Dickensian poor workhouse child, it'll still be begging for more. And you've got to really rein that power in. But we're talking a 950cc versus a 125cc. So that's the big difference. But when it comes to deciding which of my children to take on an adventure, oh man, it's really difficult because I just want to ride them both. But, and I mean this with a lot of love, my darling, some of those hills in Scotland are ridiculously steep, and you're going to stutter up those hills like Boris Johnson through an important sentence. So I think I've got to keep you at home for this one, but we've got more trips. I've got a crazy idea where I'm going to ride the boundary of every county in the UK before I'm too old to ride. Before I'm too old to ride? Yeah, I guess that's right. So we've got plenty of adventures on the horizon, my darling. The bird agrees. So I'm taking Moss. I'm going to get the bike fully serviced before I go, which is always sensible anyway. But I don't think there's a more reliable bike out there. I've ridden some major miles on this bike. It's never let me down. Moss, it's you and me to Land's End and John O'Groats, baby. Alright, so that's it from me. That just leaves me to say, please continue to donate if you can. All money goes to Mind and Alzheimer's. The link is in the box below because YouTube don't let you put links in videos anymore. Thank you, YouTube. You're a really big help. If you're unable to donate for whatever reason, the most important thing you can do is like these videos and share and subscribe to the channel, because the more subscribers we've got, the more chance we have of getting people with deeper pockets to give us some money. It's the way the world rolls. Alright, that's it from me. Catch you next time.